I have gone through many bad experiences in life, but only few happen.
Okay. Why do people obsess over the fact of having a work-life balance?
You choose the wrong workplace and then you feel stuck. You don't take the decision to move away. And now you're just trying to get that balance because work is imbalance. For people who are graduating out of college today or are early in their career, problem is that everybody is trying to extract the most amount of value out of the least amount of time.
Do you think there's something fundamentally flawed with our education system?
I have a 6-month-old baby girl. One thing that I don't want to do is send her to a traditional school. It doesn't even matter whether education system is flawed or not. It is becoming irrelevant faster than it can be fixed. Problem is that our entire education system was built on remembering data. Who remembers data today? Kids should not go to this traditional route of being in a stupid rat race. Conceptually, experientially, education system is extremely poor.
Because entrepreneurship is so glorified, this kind of influences the current generation into just believing, oh, if I become an entrepreneur, life is going to be amazing.
Yeah. Enough entrepreneurs in the world are slaves to their own business.
Every single entrepreneur who's watching, what's your message for them? I have 1.4 million followers on Instagram. If I had just zero reach and no audience, would you still be doing this podcast with me?
I'm an atheist and I'm a staunch atheist. I don't believe in the idea of God. So I actually, Gayathri, experienced a proper breakup with God. I cried, I was angry, I wanted to throw a slipper as soon as I used to see an idol. I used to find anybody who used to believe in God stupid.
I'm going to read out something and I want you to tell me if you remember this. I believe in God, the one I see in the mirror. Aham Brahmasmi.
Goosebumps. Yes.
I saw this on your WhatsApp status, dated in 2016, which is almost like...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
December 2016.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
So 9 years ago, how did your journey into going within start?
I think let me tell you that I think journey inward, there is no milestone or there's no specific point where it started. But let me tell you the other story which led to that Aham Brahmasmi for real. Academically, a lot of people talk about it and you start understanding it in layers. I don't think there is a 0 to 100 in 4 seconds sort
Correct.
of approach. I grew up, so for example, let's start with that. I'm an atheist and I'm a staunch atheist. I don't believe in the idea of God. But I'm also somebody who is very comfortable with other people believing in it. But that's not my, moral high ground to, having tolerance to others' beliefs. Not. I used to find anybody who used to believe in God stupid. Right?
Okay.
So I went through my own phase of that.
Okay.
So I grew up in a religious household, but not ridiculously religious. This is my hindsight wisdom. This is what I, when I look back, I understand that. But very, very religious. I grew up being extremely religious up until my class 12th. I used to pray for 1 hour plus every day. Like all the ritualistic prayers and I'll do the, in Hindi you have these bhajans and so I used to do all of that. I used to sing and I used to do those beads and a lot of mantra and everything. 1 hour plus every day. My ritual was that if I'm not gonna eat unless I pray, I'm not gonna pray unless I take a bath. So there was no possibility of not taking a bath and not, praying because you can't eat, right? So there was good constraints. This was not the interesting bit is this was not dictated by my parents.
Okay.
I was the only one following it because I am passionate in general. So if I do something, I will do it full. I will do it with my own flavor. I will, internalize it very, very deep. So how did this, why am I talking about this 1 hour plus of prayer? Because my mom used to pray for like 20 minutes, let's say her own stuff. My dad praying for another 20. But I'll add my 20 to it, right? So I took theirs and I added my own 20 to it.
Okay.
And I just collectively did like a lot.
Okay.
So when I was preparing for engineering for my IIT 11th and 12th especially, I started studying late nights, then early morning or let's say, morning I used to have classes. I'm now waking up at literally that, cusp where I can't really now afford to have a shower and then have 1 hour of prayer and, eat and then go, right? So now I'm confused. What do I do? So my mom started telling me, no, don't worry. God is not going to be angry on you. And there were days I had to skip. And those were the first time in many years that I started skipping off and on. Not that, but there was the tension all the time because I wanted to make sure that I don't skip. And I started getting confused about it because now this was giving me guilt. And whenever I used to skip, it used to give me massive guilt. And that guilt used to stay for a couple days. And I used to keep saying sorry to, God in my head.
For not doing the
For
rituals.
not doing that, for missing it,
Okay.
missing it, right?
Okay.
And this continued. And as soon as I entered college, now the skipping increased. And then there were other rituals, right? For example, I used to go to Hanuman temple every Tuesday. And I had not missed it for, 2 decades, something like that. But now in college, same thing. I'm partying somewhere, I have classes, I also started my business while I was in second year. So now things were getting crazier. I used to actually still make sure that I find a Hanuman temple, whichever city I am in, wherever I am. And it almost becomes your ego, right? So I was actually operating it with ego as well. But there was a lot of love and passion in this relationship with God.
Okay.
And as it started becoming difficult, I started skipping it for genuine compulsion. I'm in Australia. Couldn't find a veg burger. How will I find a Hanuman temple? Right? So a lot of compulsion started, kicking in. And I basically grew guilty and confused.
Okay.
And I was like, from the school time, it had kind of started trickling where I had started questioning that why does everybody keep saying that God won't be angry on you? Because, so I came from a school called DAV.
Okay.
I'm sure DAV is
Yes,
here
it's
as well,
there
right?
in Chennai also.
So
yeah.
DAV, there are 1,000 branches in India. And it's called Dayanand Anglo-Vedic. So Vedic education was a part of our curriculum.
Okay.
Right? And as a kid, you are academic about it. You hate it actually because you need to give an exam. But academically, I was a bright academic kid just because I was interested in learning what I was reading.
Okay.
I was not trying to top the class. I was not trying to compete with anyone. In fact, in personal life, I'm not competitive at all.
Okay.
At all. Like
Okay.
if you're running with me and if you do well, I'll be the first one clapping for you.
Okay.
And I realized it. I mean, this is all hindsight wisdom. I only realized it later because I was like this during my school days as well.
Okay.
I was friends with, the bottom ranker and the top ranker. I was in top 5 without much effort. But that effort was that I was really interested in learning, every subject.
Okay.
So I started questioning it one day that in my Vedic education, I always read that, God is formless, faceless, emotionless. God does not have ego. So where is this anger coming from? Like while my mom is convincing me that God won't be angry, I'm not able to understand why, in what case will God be angry? And if God is going to be angry, why is God angry? And then I started questioning, if God does not have emotion, where is the love coming from? And why do I want God to love me? Why am I just chasing that love?
Okay.
And this is me in 12th grade and first year college, like at the that junction. And these are all happening inside. I'm not actually asking anyone, because I can also understand that I don't think these guys will be able to answer. Partially arrogance, partially, wisdom. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so this duel started.
Okay.
And this duel was boiling, but I was still, as I said, I was passionately so like swinging on such religious side that I was continuing. And then that gap started increasing, where the guilt of not performing rituals, the guilt of not being able to, be present in a way at a certain time, at a certain temple or at a certain ritual, it started increasing. My travel increased, and I grew more and more and more guilty, and I started questioning the guilt, because I was like wondering, where is this guilt coming from?
Okay.
And if the passion for God, whoever I'm worshipping, or for religion, makes me guilty, what is the point? It is supposed to liberate me.
Yes.
Religion or love of God or something that you are passionately involved in is supposed to liberate you from every other chain. It was chaining me.
Okay.
So I could feel that there is something counterproductive happening here. This is not productive. And then came the time for breakup.
Okay.
So I got married,
Okay.
and according to Sakshi's, my wife's parents, Sakshi married a very religious guy.
Okay.
But deep inside, this connection was, getting broken. So I actually, Gayathri, experienced a proper breakup with God.
Okay.
And when I say proper breakup, I mean proper breakup. I cried. I was angry. I wanted to throw a slipper as soon as I used to see an idol, like emotion-wise. And again, there was so I started processing that, what is happening. So there came a point where I basically said, okay, I started questioning these things. These scenes started layering up, wherein I realized that God is an idea, but that was extremely concerning that I'm saying God is an idea, because I'm worshipping, I'm talking in my head, to someone. And I started reading about it. I started researching about it. And more I read, more I thought and internalized. I started realizing that the idea of God, the God I'm talking to, or I'm demanding or questioning or asking to protect or just leaving my worries to, is an idea which is supposed to liberate me of my tensions, of my anxiety, of my concerns. If I'm going somewhere, how do I make sure that this roof is not going to fall on me? I can't. So what will I do? I'll keep looking up. If I'll keep looking up, how will we talk? So what do? You leave the responsibility to somebody else, and then you say, okay, now we'll talk. God will take care of us.
Okay.
But that's how it is supposed to be used.
Yeah.
And as I grew, my understanding around that, I started disconnecting. And this disconnection was killing me, because I was also wondering that, was I fooled? Is this not true? Now I had a lot of anger. And this anger was real. Anger was real to the point that I stopped. My first act of rebellion was that I am not going to go to temple on a Tuesday knowingly. And it was an act of rebellion to the point that entire Tuesday I used to be fidgety. I used to be I just couldn't understand my own emotions on that Tuesday. And I couldn't speak. I didn't tell this to anyone, including Sakshi, and I share everything with her. But I didn't say a word to her because I was still processing my emotions. I had zero idea. What do I tell her? I still don't understand what's going on. So then another Tuesday. Every Tuesday used to be a nightmare, because the entire day it used to be like, oh, I'm not going to the temple. If I used to cross a temple, I used to look at, a god idol. I used to feel infuriated. And then came the phase where things started falling in perspective, where I realized that, hey, you know what? Because now I was more worried about my anger. I was more worried about my hatred, and this was also the phase where I started doing arguments with people, the intellectual arguments that if you follow God, you're stupid. You should be an atheist.
Okay.
And this ritual is stupid. You are stupid. Your family is stupid. My family is stupid. Everybody's stupid.
Okay.
And I was really having these debates with people where and I can debate well. So that was another problem, that I was also beating them, but I could also see that there were only two kinds of results from that. One, people who believe in me, they were miserable.
Okay.
Because now I was trying to shake their idea of God, but they did not know who to hold on to. And I was not realizing it at all. And then there were others who could ignore me. So as soon as they were beaten in the debate, they're like, yeah, you are stupid. And they walked away. And I was like, what am I doing? It actually took 2 years.
Of being in that space. Okay.
Shifting continuously, but two plus years. And then there came a point where this settled somewhere. But I realized a couple of things. One, I realized that, because I was swinging at such extreme in following my passion, to worship, before I hit an equilibrium, I had to go to the other negative.
Okay.
There was no other way.
Okay.
And this was my realization of it.
Okay.
That because I was genuinely questioning, where is this hate, where is this anger coming from? And it actually reached an equilibrium because I was at it, but I was also questioning not only the idea and the rituals and the beliefs, I was also questioning my own anger, my own emotions, my own reaction to people. What am I doing to them? And as soon as peace started happening, that peace also happened because I started owning stuff more. And that's where Ahem Brahmasmi come from. Atheism is not an ism. I think, and I don't want to even talk about atheism as as a word, right? Because many people have very, very different view of. I think your belief in yourself is paramount. And if you really embody that, you become an agnostic. So my discovery was that as more and more I started receding away from the idea of a formed God or certain ritual or certain practice or certain religion, I think my idea of my ownership of my own life increased.
Oh, okay.
Extremely confronting, because now you know that technically this roof can fall. Right?
Okay.
And nobody's watching over you. Technically. You're just playing probability. If you go out on the road and you're driving, let's say, 4 hours a day of your life, very high chance that you'll die in a road accident. Just probability. Nothing to do with you. If you're not on the road, high chance you will not die on the road. If you're in a earthquake, seismic zone, high probability that you'll die because something fell on you. And so on, right? So it's very mathematical.
Okay.
But ideally, it's also about how much of your own reality in your life you own, how much of it you understand that there are a lot of things in your surroundings which are completely out of your control.
Yes.
And there is a probability of anything hitting you.
Right.
And you need to accept it. The calmness will come from the acceptance of that.
The acceptance of anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can hit you. You are in a surrounding, anything can hit you. If you're in a beach town, which is also a seismic zone, yeah, tsunami will take away your property someday.
Okay.
That's an absolute clear probability. Now what do you do? If you're not calm about it, you move. So you choose your surroundings basis the probability of things that can happen to you there that you can accept. If you don't want to die in an earthquake, you stay away from a seismic zone. You can't be staying in a seismic zone and be worried about earthquake. You can't do both.
But if your acceptance of things in life starts to broaden, then you can be anywhere and do anything and still not be affected by it.
Yes, you will be affected by it. You will not be affected by it in terms of anxiety. There are two different problems, right? Bigger problem is, like, there is this, my favorite saying is, I have gone through many bad experiences in life, but only few happened.
Okay.
Right? The bigger problem is that how much of the verse that we live in our head all the time, anxiety is living in future. But that is because we over-imagine almost everything, all the bad as well as the good. I'm in business. You're about to crack a big deal. You have already spent that money in your head.
Okay.
You've already, announced that success to the world. You have already, done all the good things that will happen if this deal goes through.
Okay.
Now, after this celebration in your head, you're sitting on negotiation table.
Okay.
You lose your leverage. You lose your power. You can never negotiate with the other party. Because now you have already celebrated the win. Now you can't lose. Your stakes are already high.
Now, is it because of your attachment to the outcome of how this needs to turn out is so strong that you're not able to negotiate?
You imagined it, right?
Okay. And you want
And I'm giving you a positive example because it is easier to relate.
Okay. Yeah.
The negative also is the same.
Right.
You have already imagined, oh, damn, my boss has called me today. They're going to fire me. Who's going to, my EMI is going to get, I'm screwed at so many levels. My car, my EMI, my marriage, my husband, my wife, my kids, their school fee, my parents, neighborhood, what will they think? I'm going to be out of job. You have already lived all of it. Now you're sitting on that table. Now you can't lose from this, right? What will you do? You'll beg, borrow, steal, cry. You'll lose your, dignity. You will not be able to actually hear your boss clearly in case they want to tell you something, that you want to fix, you need to fix. All the chatter in your head is that I'm so screwed, I'm screwed at so many levels. Same happens when you're, celebrating something, before it actually happens.
Right.
That's why I said in business, I tell my salespeople all the time that, guys, relax. We all will celebrate once it happens. And I know that we are right there. But
Okay.
please, relax.
Okay.
Tell me when money is in the bank.
Okay.
Tell me when the paper is signed. Tell me when we have crossed the bridge.
Okay.
And we'll celebrate.
Okay.
But you celebrate early, you lose the leverage in the game. The biggest leverage you have in the game is to walk away,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You lose that negotiation power. So how do you lose that negotiation power with yourself? If you are, whether you want to move from this surrounding or not,
Okay.
whether this city, this country, this family, this circle of friends, are they good for you or not, you know it deep inside your heart. But the problem is that you have attached so many outcomes in life to them that while you are in a toxic relationship or a toxic place and in a surrounding which is not aligned with how you look at life, you don't want to move. You cannot move because you have lost all the leverage, because you have a lot of anxiety that what will happen if I move? What will happen there? Who will I meet? How will this go? What if this happens? What if that happens? So you have lived so much of imagination already that where is the leverage for you now to try to walk away, to also come back if you don't like it?
Yeah.
I at times meet people who I will ask that, okay, so, especially in the context of their work, at times in the interviews, I'll say, okay, so which company in your career you regret leaving?
Okay.
Which job you look back, feel, oh damn, should not have left. So they'll say, okay, this one. And then I ask them, so why don't you go back as soon as you realize that? Gayathri, 99% cases I get the answer that no, I can't go back now. I'm like, yeah, but why? Said, okay. The answer is ego. I can't ask them back. I can't ask the job back.
It's all the narratives here.
Yeah, because you have already lived so much of, what will people think? How will they look at me?
Yes.
I'll be a failure. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
You have lived so many things already. Now you lost leverage. See, what is leverage? Leverage is, people who can say sorry and come back to you. That's great leverage. That can only happen when they are standing tall on either the body of the work they've done before, or their relationship with you, or, their own clarity in mind that yes, I had a change of mind and I have a change of mind again, and I'm the same person. So it's all okay.
So now how does one stay immune? That is, I'm not going to celebrate even before it happens, or I'm not going to attach so many anxious moments with it if it does not happen. How does one stay immune to this?
I don't know the trick. I can only tell you my experience. My experience is you practice it consciously, that while my ambition and my preparation for the worst, my ambition for the best will stay. But at the same time, I need to make sure that I stay here right now.
Okay.
See, you cannot tell your mind to not think about future, good or bad. You cannot.
Okay.
You can only tell your mind to just be here.
Okay.
Right? So when you start telling your mind, don't over imagine, don't think about that, don't think about this, don't misuse your imagination, nobody listens, including your own head. But you can actually say, hey, yeah, that's great, but let's come back here. We're right now here. Let's see what is at hand and what should we do here right now. That is probably bad if it happens, and we need to mitigate that risk. But hey, let's come back here. Let's do what needs to be done today, and let's do it one day at a time, and let's not really worry about a week or 10 days or 14 days or a year from now, while the action today is still pending. Let's keep taking these small steps every day. I think for me, what has worked always is that small steps in everything every day. There's no personal professional for me anyway. So I think for me, everything that I do, every project that I start, every habit that I start, everything that I want to do as a hobby or anything, I start moving literally an inch every day. I start moving the needle every day. I'll do some research. I'll tell somebody. I'll start talking about it. I'll start declaring it. I'll start. I'll get that rolling.
Okay.
And it starts falling in place. But it's a practice. I don't think there is a trick. You can only keep coming back to present, because in present things are not that worse.
So yesterday, while I was actually preparing the questions, I was just asking myself, why do we have desires in life? So in my mind, it popped up saying, I have a desire in life because I believe when I achieve that particular desire, I'm going to feel a specific way, which is probably better than how I'm feeling in the now. So the need to be somewhere else rather than being in the now comes from this idea that somewhere else is better than being in the now. So my question was, there are certain podcasts that I've done where I've done a bunch of questions, or I've done the conversation, keeping in mind a specific outcome of that podcast. And there are certain podcasts that I've done where the conversation just was flowing, just like how it is flowing at this point of time. In both the podcasts, to be very honest, I enjoy the podcast where the conversations flow. Now, when the conversations flow, outcome is not in my control.
Yep.
Right? This podcast can be a hit. It may not be a hit. The outcome is not in my control.
Sure.
But running a show like this, I also need to keep in mind that the outcome is also important. So now I want to understand, how do I find a balance between not being so attached to the outcome, still being in a state of flow, and being detached from both?
I will still give my vote to being in a state of flow.
Okay.
Without worrying about outcome.
Okay.
Because, let me put it like this. The ingredients that you gather before cooking something are in your control. Right? You gather those ingredients. Now, when you're cooking, the best cooks in the world are in the state of flow. They're not measuring everything. They're not doing it, And honestly, their dishes not necessarily turn out to be exactly same as before, but they turn out to be tasty each time.
Okay.
Right? It may not be exactly same as before because they are doing, they're also improvising at times. They'll do, different things to it. But they are in a state of flow. They are actually enjoying it. This is podcasting still a very, very creative process. You're trying to extract somebody else's perspective, opinion, their knowledge, their experiences out, right? And anything can just come out.
Yeah.
Good, bad, I sell software.
Yeah.
It can look like the most boring job in the world from a job perspective, as in from a daily, grind. I can tell you that I do that in a state of flow. I have, it doesn't mean that we don't plan, but I can tell you that it's literally in a state of flow. Because what are my ingredients? My ingredients are that I sell software to restaurants, right? So my ingredients are that I talk to restaurateurs, restaurant operators, restaurant technology guys. I have my team who's always talking to restaurateurs. I have software developers on the team. I have salespeople on the team. When you gather these 3-4 people, these are ingredients. When you gather these people in a room, what will happen? Only 3-4 things will happen. One, you'll get more requirements on how to improve your software. You'll get requirements from the customer on how to do a certain thing. You'll get complaints that you need to fix, feedback. Somebody will be selling or somebody will be buying. There will be a discussion of pain point, or there's going to be a discussion of wants and desires and, what is it that you want to achieve. Why do I control an outcome in this room? I don't. I don't enter this room thinking that, oh, today I'm going to sell. People do that.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
My team doesn't.
Okay.
I enter this room in a state of flow.
Okay.
Let's see, I already have ingredients. How many things can happen?
Okay.
Right? So why do I worry now? And that allows me an extremely good relationship with my industry peers, because I'm not talking to anybody with an agenda and transactional agenda in mind. And people perceive it.
Yes.
People see it.
Yes.
You don't need to say it.
Yes.
They feel it. You leave them with the feeling that we had a 1-hour chat. The guy doesn't have a horse in the race. He was worried about me. He was talking about me. He was not even selling his product. We were talking about random shit in the world. What just happened? I see those faces who after a 1-hour chat will leave very warm, nice, at times confused, because we talked about the entire world. And, it's funny that there are times when there are genuinely coveted prospects who we have spent like $100,000 to be in that room. Let's say a conference. And, we are trying to get FaceTime with them. I finally get the FaceTime. And for 45 minutes, we'll discuss world politics and go. And I've seen people guilty where, like some good people will be just like, hey, Ashish, this was great chat. Love talking. Hey, by the way, let us know. We would also want to see your product. I'm like, don't worry. We'll send it to you.
Okay.
It's all okay. No, not today. Not important. Say, yeah, actually, conference is quite busy. Don't worry. And I'm not pretending.
Yes.
This is a state of flow.
Okay.
Because you have to understand that I was not discussing world politics.
Okay.
It takes two.
Yes.
That person was also probably wanted to discuss world politics. Probably he or she is tired of the conference. Probably they are not in the mood today. Probably there is no overpowering problem in their head right now. Probably this was not their agenda. My problem is that when you get into a room who's full of right people, I think that's where your pursuit of outcome should end.
Wow.
Who you seat here is the input. After that, how do you care? Who cares? After that, what will come out? How will you control? And if you think you are controlling that, that's also bullshit. You're not controlling that. I mean, it's happening because you just control the input right. You got the right person in. For example, I don't even know if I'm the right person or not. But the fact is that if you are getting, let's say, Sadhguru, I mean, why do you want to control anything? It's okay. Ask whatever you want. Let him tell whatever he wants. You don't know what is his state today, what's his mood, what's inspiring him. what's pulling him down, what's the emotion that is coming out. You don't know that, right? So your job is to let it flow, allow people who are watching, even in podcasting, even in your creative process, allow people to discover, something, because fact is that none of what I tell people or you tell people is going to change their life.
Yes.
It is always how they perceive what any of us said. And whatever, I am saying is also not the ultimate truth.
Yes.
It is literally my experience, and more than my experience, it is my perspective of my experience.
Yes.
It is how I felt when something happened,
Yeah.
and what meaning I gave it to, gave it, and what sustained, what I could, layer up and say, okay, this is how I've changed, but this is, what my personality is. So why do you want to control outcomes?
So generally when people walk into a room with an agenda, what do you think they're missing out on?
Serendipity. They're missing out on luck. They're missing out on serendipity. I mean, it's like, what if I had the power to tune your hearing for just one instrument? Okay? And then I place you in a rock concert.
Okay.
What did you miss out on?
Everything. Shit.
So when you have transactional agenda, it's not a bad idea. You want it? Sure. I'm not judging you for your agenda. But yeah, you'll miss probably everything else in the room. Because your blinders on focused, which is great. If that serves you well, I'm happy for you. I don't mind that.
Okay, for somebody to be so obsessed with an agenda, right? What do you think is the void that they're trying to fill?
I don't know. I don't think it can be generalized, but it definitely stems from the fact that, one, that you somewhere are losing the point that world doesn't revolve around you. Somewhere you're losing the point that you're not the only one important in the room. You're also losing, the essence of all that we are doing in life, which is personal connections. Like, for example, for me, I think the biggest wealth, the largest wealth that I have is my personal connections.
Yeah.
And I'm not calling it professional network. I'm calling it personal connections because, for example, I don't use the word friend loosely. There are people who will say, oh, he's a friend and that is a friend. I don't take that loosely. When I say that somebody is a friend, I can call them 2 a.m. And they can do the same. For me, personal connection is no facade, no pretense. And I have had the privilege, of meeting some of the most accomplished beasts in the world. Like people who are really killing it in their arenas. They are absolutely formidable competitors to look at. And, I can tell you that my relationships are where they bear. There is no pretense. There is no, they're not putting a facade. They're not putting a face. And that's where I connect. And I cherish that. I will never trade it for anything else.
Okay.
And I don't need anything, from it. But fact is that those are the relationships that you discover once you start tuning out from your transactional agenda. To each his own. As I said, if transactional agenda is what is important for your life right now, that's how you want to live it, great, go ahead. Just know that you are listening to only one instrument in a rock show.
Okay.
You should just understand that you're just missing the forest for the trees.
Right.
And, the longer you do it, more numb you will get, to the world. That's why in meditative practices, people tell you that, go in the nature, listen to the nature. Well, why do they say that? because we go to nature with an agenda. Oh, have you captured the view from there? Right? Which is great. I also click pictures. One should, right? But when you are tuned in that I just want to see that particular sunrise view, you miss out on everything else. Right? But when you're just chilling, when you're saying, hey, this is beautiful. I don't know what's beautiful about this, but I just want to soak in. Those, moments, experiences, places have stayed with me for much longer than the beautiful sunsets or the beautiful views that I've experienced. They did not stay. They stay in the pictures. They did not stay in my mind. But places where I just slept, where I was lying down for 1 hour random and not even thinking anything profound, thinking the randomest shit in the world. But I was just feeling everything. I remember that, I could feel the breeze. That stayed with me for much longer. Same goes for relationships, and people.
So I've heard you speak about this. You've said money, okay, I'll rephrase it. You've said only money can solve money problems. Do you think money can bring happiness?
I think happiness as a construct is confused.
Okay.
Euphoria is not happiness.
Correct.
Dopamine hit is not happiness.
Yes.
I think happiness, I don't know if I'm qualified to define that because am I regularly on a normal day a happy guy? I will term myself as a happy guy on a normal day. But can I really define happiness? I don't know. I really don't know.
No, if you had to define your version of happiness, what would that be?
Okay, let me define how I am in a day.
Okay.
And why am I saying that I can't define happiness? I'm all that a regular person will be in a day. I'm living in future because I have ambition. I'm living in future because I am anxious about something, not going right. I am very, very calm because, I'm doing what I want. I'm extremely euphoric because of the same reason, because I'm choosing to do what I want, and I can dictate. I can wake up in the morning, and I can decide my day, and I can also decide that I've changed my mind, and I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. I'm not married to my calendar.
Okay.
Though I am, but as I said, I own the fact that I can change my mind.
Yeah.
Right, and I'll be apologetic in case it disrupts somebody else's plans, but I still reserve the right to that. I'm grateful for family, friends. I love the fact that I every day wake up to work with people that I love. I love my coworkers. Like they're not my family. They're the bloodline. That's the strength. So if you see the entire gamut that I just painted, right? I think definition of happiness for me is which ingredient is overpowering that day.
Okay.
So it's a combination is the point I'm making, right? So the true definition of happiness is, if these are the ingredients, then true definition of happiness is that, if today anxiety is high, if I am dealing with a problem, of course it's not a happy day, right? But if today I'm winning something, I will also not call it a happy day. I will just call it a raging with passion and adrenaline and euphoric day, right? The day I am down building something, creating something, solving problems, that's my dope. That's my calm most, the most happy state.
Yes.
I lose every other, thought in the world. I will lose every other, I will almost don't remember where am I because I'm just, into some problem, solving it, very, very happy about it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a state which is, for me, the constant. I'm I've worked very hard to find a constant between all these things that I just painted. Can I be calm when I'm supposed to be euphoric? Can I be calm when I'm supposed to be anxious?
Okay.
Can I be calm when I'm really feeling, overtly emotional and happy, let's say about something, about a relationship, about family, about friends? Can I remain calm? And that doesn't mean that I don't emote.
Okay.
Right. It simply just means that can I remain calm inside? Can I watch myself when I'm raging? Can I watch myself when I'm raging with anger? Can I watch myself when I'm raging with happiness? Can I watch myself when I'm crying with happiness? Can I just keep a watch on that? Because to me, every emotion that swings very, very far will have to hit the other side before it hits equilibrium. So the closer I remain to equilibrium,
Okay.
I won't have to swing the negative side that far.
Okay.
You will have to,
Yeah.
but not that far.
Okay.
So I think that state to me theoretically
I get it. I get
is
it.
happiness.
Okay. So from what you said, I kind of perceive, this is my perception, anything or any situation where you're able to stay calm irrespective of the emotional fluctuations and for you to have a sense of freedom in everything that you do. Probably it is not the actual definition of happiness, but that is what you feel about it. Okay. So now what I want to ask you is, with respect to when we were growing up, the way schooling system, the number of syllabuses, all of that was very different. And now kids have way too many options and there's way too much pressure on them, including the ones that are graduating from college, including the ones that are in 5th standard and 6th standard, because it's become so competitive. Do you think there's something fundamentally flawed with our education system?
I'm thinking about it nowadays.
Okay.
And I have a good reason for that. I have a 6-month-old
Yeah.
baby girl.
Yes.
Her name is Edha.
What is the name?
Edha.
Edha. What does it mean?
EDHA.
What does it mean?
Edha is a Hindi word,
Okay.
which is also not a very common Hindi word.
Okay.
So funnily, Hindi people are not able to really decipher it. Edha means prosperity.
Oh, okay. Nice. Beautiful.
So she's 6 months, but I've already started thinking, and I'm talking to a lot of friends about this, that what will we do for her education? Because one thing that I don't want to do is send her to a traditional school. But on the other side, how do I take care of the social aspect?
Exactly.
Right. So I will have to send her to a traditional school.
Yes.
So the fact is that there is no hard decision making on that. But to your question, because our education system is impacting today people who are graduating, people who are also, let's say, early in their jobs, in their career. I think at least 2025, what is happening today, my opinion is that our education, more than our education system being fundamentally flawed at certain places, and I'll talk about that. I think more than that, today the bigger issue is that the velocity of change in what world needs you to know is so much that it's almost, it doesn't even matter whether education system is flawed or not. It is becoming irrelevant faster than it can be fixed.
Wow. Okay.
Right? So irrelevance is a bigger issue than fixing it. Problem is that our entire education system was built on cramming, remembering data. Who remembers data today? You Google at a drop of a thought. I remember when I was in school, there used to be these people used to say, oh, in Japan or in US, kids get calculator in their class. And although I never verified if that is true or not, but the kind of mathematics American students do, I think it must be true. I used to actually wonder. I remember this was just a folklore, but we used to wonder, really? How is it possible? How come students have a calculator in the class? I mean, we have been doing math by saying, right? Now, the flaw, or rather the irrelevance in the education system is that you're not supposed to do this anymore. That's the problem. That's a much bigger problem. That the current education system is getting rendered useless because the concepts being taught are not taught deep enough.
Yes.
And while the concepts are not deep and the surface level, information and knowledge is full of data and dates and people and the names and things that you're supposed to remember. And in this world, you're not supposed to remember much because everything is at your, fingertips. All the knowledge, all the information is completely democratized. You don't need to, turn the pages. You don't need to find something. You don't need to mine. And GPT has just taken it to, all different level. All you need today is to fundamentally just understand the concept.
Correct.
And that's where I feel the flaw is. Conceptually, experientially, education system is extremely poor because it was designed to give those exams, write those exams, somebody reading your answers, somebody
correcting it,
doing the marking, you passing and failing basis of certain points and numbers, not even percentile, but like a proper hard percentage. It is going to be tough. The irrelevance is what I'm more worried about. I'm not worried about the flaws. I today, and maybe in next couple of years it may happen. I've actually started talking about, starting an alternate school with a couple of friends of mine. And I don't want to start an education institution. But almost out of compulsion, 10, 20, 30 of our friends, we all believe that, kids should not go to this traditional route of, being in a stupid rat race without really knowing things. Like, for example, I would want Edha to, by the time she's 20, I would want her to experience at least 40 countries.
Okay.
And I would want her to be in different exchange programs. I would want her to, know the world, learn the world. And the only hope I have with that is that all her beliefs, should just, get flattened out. Because when you travel the world, what changes?
Yeah.
Your belief system gets a shock.
Yes.
Right? You try, leave the world. Even if you start, traveling India, leave that. You marry in another religion or another caste. That's all. That's all what it takes to shake your belief system for good if you're smart. Right? Me and Sakshi are Delhi born and raised. 3 generations Delhi. Both the families are very similar. She's a Punjabi. I'm a Marwari. But again, Delhi is not very casteist, if I may. Right? So, or at least our families were not. So we discovered things in reverse. We got married. There was no problem at all. But when Sakshi came in and she started questioning some of the rituals that my mom was doing, they were exact opposite what her parents used to do.
Okay.
So stupid things like superstitious stuff, right? Not important. But the point is that it broke her, belief system for good. Because when she saw that her mom was always telling her, do this after this, otherwise it'll be bad. And my mom did exactly reverse with the same passion, said, if you don't do this, it'll be bad. She basically said, oh, so both are foolish. Me and Sakshi got married when we were 23 and a half.
Okay.
We were college sweethearts. So,
Okay.
So Sakshi and me were dating in college.
Okay.
According to Sakshi, we dated for 5.5 years.
Okay.
According to college and me, we dated for 6.5. There are 500 people in college who can vouch for this fact that it was 6.5. While Sakshi doesn't believe that. So, I started my business when I was in second year. Sakshi was the real engineer. She, topped our university, that year. And I was just getting by. I was trying to drop out of the engineering college. She didn't allow me.
Right.
But I think after 1.5 years, one day Sakshi called me and said, so what do you think? And we never, you're talking about being in the state of flow. Let me tell you something. And I feel very, very good about it, but it almost sounds like a brag. It's also luck. We were dating officially from second year, and then came out of engineering college. I continued with my company. Sakshi joined Sapient. I used to go to Gurgaon to meet her, in her office. We never talked about marriage. At all.
Not even once. Okay.
Not even a discussion
Okay.
in 4.5, 5 years of, dating each other. Out of college as well. And it was literally like one day, I think it was her 23rd birthday. And she said, so what next? I said, you tell me. She said, there's a lot of pressure at home for marriage. There are, alliances coming in. So I said, oh, drag it till the time you can. The day you can't, tell them. She said, oh, so, and what will happen at your side? I said, that's my problem, that's not yours. Just give me a call and we'll sort it out. Oh, I didn't know that it will happen after 18 days.
Oh.
So after 18 days, she's like, oh, by the way, pressure was high, I just told. I was like, what the fuck? And I ran back home. I told my parents. And, and that's it. This was the first time we talked about marriage, right? But honestly, it was not like that we were not thinking about getting married, but we were also not thinking about getting married. It's like, to me, that was state of flow.
Okay.
Like we were just there. Relationship was beautiful in its own way. It was very, very fulfilling, complementary, extremely complementary, to each other. Temperament, matched, values match. Why will you, go or stray any other way? That to me is a state of flow. That to me is when you're with the right people in any relationship for that matter. That is how it is. Some of my employees in my company, we have never discussed any commercial terms again, and it is just a state of flow. Doesn't mean that that finances don't matter. Everything is happening. We are making money, they are making money, we are going through losses, they are taking pay cuts. Everything is happening. But there's no discussion about it. It is just a state of flow because we both like working with each other.
Yeah.
We both have same values.
Yeah.
Our value system matches absolutely on point. We, stand for the same things. That alignment and then sticking to it is a life hack. When you talk about happiness, I feel that justified in the name of ambition, I see people, in way more pain by leaving, from the place where they were happy. And I'm not talking about in the context of work. I'm talking about in context of life. Leaving relationship where they were safe, secure, and happy for adventure. And then adventure did not, work out and they're miserable. Knowing where to stick, when to stop, knowing that, your state of flow is about people who you surround yourself with, making an effort to make sure that you are surrounded by right people and making 10x effort to continuously allow, chuck people from your life who does not align with you. See, there is nothing about good people or bad people. Every bad person is good in somebody else's relationship.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Everybody is somebody's daughter, brother, sister, husband, wife, father, mother. In some relationship, they're the most beautiful people, right? Important pieces doesn't align with you. And most of the times, it's the value system. One of the most disturbing realization I've had in life, the most disturbing, but also most liberating, is the fact that so many people in this world who do wrong, morally wrong with you in any way, they don't even feel it. They feel that they've done wrong.
Yeah.
That is deeply disturbing and also liberating because their value system is screwed up. You are trying to prove they did wrong. You are trying to save yourself from something that they may do or may not do. But problem is that their value system is so screwed up that they are bound to do it. It's almost their nature. And that is exactly why when you question their nature, they don't even own up to it.
Yeah.
Because for them to own, first they have to believe that they did wrong.
Exactly.
But like, can you make a dog guilty of barking? Dog will be like, bro,
Yeah.
like what else? What's the point? What do you want me to say? You want me to speak French? Because that's nature.
Yeah.
That's how it is, right? When your value system, so what do you do then? You don't align yourself with people basis your needs, wants. That's what, if I call back the transactional
Yes.
approach in the room, right?
Yes.
That's what you miss out on. See, when you are transactionally aligned with someone and then you try to attach your life to them, that's where the things go downhill, because transactionally you were supposed to listen to one instrument.
But I think the problem now, what I feel in the society is, because entrepreneurship is so glorified. And what is glorified is only the money, the fame, and how successful you can become. You've gone for an IPO. This kind of influences the current generation into just believing, oh, if I become an entrepreneur, life is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So now, when somebody steps out of college, what do you think their mindset and approach towards life be like?
Should be
Yeah.
to be of value. I think the curse of entrepreneurship is that, and I love the fact that everybody believes that entrepreneurship is all hunky-dory. I love the fact.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because only after trying that will people start respecting entrepreneurs even more.
So damn true. Yes.
Right? Because it is tough. It is excruciatingly painful.
Yes.
And it is not like, oh, entrepreneurs are these poor people who are going through so much. You've signed up for it. Right? I can never cry about it. I've signed up for it. This was not thrown at me. I signed up. This is my life. So all the problems are also my own. And hence, all the credit is also mine. Because I go through this crap every day. This is a mental war. So I believe that people will always keep on believing that entrepreneurship is great. You can't take that away from people. That is also something which is the capitalistic, growth curve. Ambition is only going to, get induced in more people, and more people will, would want to create products, create services, build businesses, and world just gets better in a capitalistic way, at least through ambition. So I think that will always happen. When I tell people that what is it that you should be thinking about is just being of value. And by that what I mean is, see, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an employee, whether you're an independent professional, fact is that all of us are just fighting relevance. Can I be of value to somebody? Right? For me as an entrepreneur, I can be calm about only one thing. See, there are 20,000 things that can go wrong. But one thing that I know is, there is a pain in the world that I solve right now. So I'm needed. So far that remains true. I will always have business. Right? And that gives me a lot of peace. It is my absolute anxiety killer. That I am needed. So that means there's going to be work. So okay, fix it. Whatever happened, let's move on. For people who are graduating out of college today or are early in their career, problem is that everybody is trying to extract the most amount of value out of the least amount of time. Why?
Okay.
Right? You are trying to, work for fixed number of hours and trying to score the best package. Why? Even if they have scored the best package, they want to make sure that the less number of hours should happen there. Why? I don't understand it. At times people, give a rhetoric or start debating this. Oh, so you want us to die at work? No. But, once you try to be an entrepreneur, this will be 24/7, 365 days
Yes.
into 10 years.
Yes.
At least.
Yes.
If you're lucky. Because most cases 10 years won't happen. And no, but I can work for myself. Why should I work for somebody else? No, you're always working for somebody else.
Correct.
Just the output is different. If you actually start, so there is this thing in Hindi. I don't know how much of your audience is will understand Hindi, but I'll try. So it's a religious and spiritual saying. Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koe. Jo sukh mein sumiran kare, dukh kahe ko hoye. Means that everybody remembers the higher power in pain, in sadness. But when they're happy and euphoric, nobody wants to think about the higher power. But if you start submitting to the higher power when you are in happy and euphoria, there will not be a day of sadness. If I apply this to my work, I think about my product, my customer, my employee, my partners, and my vendors in my happy days. And they literally take care of me that there are no bad days. As an employee, if you are continuously worried about your manager, your boss, your peers, people who you are supposed to give the output, in a company, if you're working in any job that you are, your work, your output is somebody else's input. You will complete it, you'll give it to someone, and they'll take it forward. Further, if you are more worried about that, you will never have a problem. If you are trying to snatch away the number of hours from that job, you will start feeling that the boss is trying to squeeze more hours from you. You made a choice when you accepted that package. You made a choice when you accepted that company, that brand. All this hoopla about these E&Ys, Deloittes and KPMG and Big Fours squeezing people out. I am absolutely against anybody getting exploited. But I have a question. You signed up, you joined, and by the way, you can leave. I'm not able to understand what's the hoopla. I'm absolutely not able to understand. It is a very victimized, it will screw your mental health more than anything else actually. I don't know how much of your mental health and physical health is getting screwed by being exploited for more number of hours at work than the fact that you feel exploited, you still command that high package in a brand that you, your parents and your, society loved, and you're not moving from there. I think that is actually damaging your mental health way more than any number of extra hours anybody can throw on you.
Right.
So I'm much more worried about that. When I hear this, this narrative, this news and all that, I'm like, why is nobody pointing this out? Why are you working there?
Yeah.
Because you wanted that particular brand. And I'm not putting the burden on the candidate. All I'm saying is, in this context, who am I speaking to? I'm speaking to you. Burden is yours. Anything that is happening in my life, in my context, the burden is on me. There is no other way. At least for me, that is no other way. I take the entire burden myself for any situation because I cannot predict what Gayathri will do. I cannot control what Gayathri will do. I can only control and predict what I will do. So if you are not changing the course, I will change the course. Or I will accept if I choose to stay in this relationship.
Okay. I think there are two common traits that I have personally noticed in all the people who are fairly successful in life. The first one, they're extremely delusional. And the second one, they're super obsessed people. So now when the obsession kicks in, this is something I've been experiencing in the last 7 months. I told you how the company is growing. I'm just so obsessed with the process of building what I'm building at this point of time there is no time for me to even think about work-life balance. Because for me, work and life is just the same. I'm like, last week I was having a chat with my husband from the time that we opened the office. Not one day have we missed coming to the office. Not one day. And we're like, it did not even feel like a burden. It's just so much joy and there's so much learning. Even after I started the podcast.
But do you want to miss the joy?
No.
So why would you want to miss coming to office?
So now, my point is, why do people obsess over the fact of having a work-life balance?
Same. That's what I'm saying. You choose the wrong workplace, and then you feel stuck, and then you don't take the decision to move away. And now you're just trying to, get that balance because work is imbalance. It's just that. See, it may sound simple. And again, I don't think it is for people who are anyway victims. See, if you wanna say, oh, you don't know what my life is about, that's fair. I agree with you. All I'm saying is that this is not for you then. But if you see logically, it is the same for us as a company. Okay, it's easier to put in terms of money number. As a company, Gayathri, we don't work with bad customers. And by bad, I'll still bring the same thing. Somebody bad is good to somebody else, right?
Correct.
Any customer who does not align with our values, we don't work with them. And it is very, very strong and a hard statement to make for a company, for a business.
Correct.
Right? And we are software business. We are not doing massages. Software, right? It is dry.
Yeah.
So somebody can also say, but where are the feelings coming in? You supply the software? No. Somebody is using your software. What's wrong with you? But for us, it's very, very important that how do you speak to our people? How do you value this partnership? What does our platform bring in your life? For example, a customer who will say, we have 5 more software companies out there. They all do the same thing. You give us the discount, be the cheapest, and also, service us the way we want. Like, fair. You're not our customer. Oh, you're arrogant. No. We don't want you to have a bad experience with us because we are not going to do it this way anyway. And we don't want bad experience from you because if somebody like you is talking to people in my team, they will start hating their job.
Yes.
They will start hating this job every day. Right? So, as a company, I do the same thing. And I'm not trying to say, oh, we take care of our people. I'm just saying that as a company, as a founder, leave my people. As a founder, my experience of my own company is a function of how happy or how calm or how accomplished my people, feel every day. Because when at the bottom somebody is not happy, they're going to make 5 more people unhappy.
Exactly.
Those 5 more people are going to make somebody unhappy. Trust me, everybody put together will make me unhappy. I will feel that, oh my God, it's a war. And I don't want to enter my office on any day feeling that I'm entering a war zone. This is what is happening with people. This is what you are experiencing. What you just said, oh, I have never had a work-life balance. Why will you say that? Because world told you there is a work-life balance.
Yeah.
They defined work and then they defined balance. I have no idea why. It is unfunny that literally 100% motivational stories, quotes, anything for that matter, any motivational content is around high achievers. And it is being peddled by people who are chasing 9 to 5 or work-life balance or weekends or some sort of a botched up view of their own life. Why? People are talking about taking a mental health break from office, citing an Olympian who took off from one of the Olympics because of mental health. I'm like, what are you talking about? Wait, let's dissect this. You are going through a mental health crisis. please take a break from anything that is bringing that crisis to you. Like, I haven't heard I'm taking a mental health break from family. We should be hearing that more often, no? There are toxic homes,
Yes.
right? Where even with right intentions, parents, grandparents, joint families, spouses, they are giving each other a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anybody saying that. But we keep hearing mental health break from work. Keep hearing. It's a norm, right? How? What if I tell you that in my life, the most amount of people I know, whenever they went through, a mental health issue or crisis of any type and kind, 99% cases, unless of course it was coming from work, but 99% cases, actually going deeper into their work was the only way they got through,
Yeah.
right? How are you making, so the induced idea that work is trauma or work is traumatic or work is imbalance, you need to, do something else to offset that, I find it extremely stupid. I find it almost misaligned with your own goals in life. See, if your goal is to go to a village and lead a very calm life, you can do it today.
Yeah.
And you don't even need crores of rupees for that. That's the funny part about it.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to do that, that can happen today and you will get a remote job for sure. And thanks to internet is everywhere. You can do that today. No, you don't want to do that. You want to live in the city. You want to have all the capitalistic benefits. But you also don't want to, commit to what you're doing. I think integration of work life is the only way. I mean, integration of life and your work in that life is the only way. How you do it, which job you choose is your choice. And I can tell you that this is not only for people in jobs. Enough entrepreneurs in the world are slaves to their own business. Don't get this wrong. And I'm talking about the unhappy. That's why I'm calling it slavery. There are enough entrepreneurs in the world who are just stuck in their own empire and stuck, like they're not even enjoying it. Right? Where does that come from? That comes from the same problem. You basically have made certain decisions which are not aligned to how you wanted your life to unfold. And now you are stuck because you feel that you cannot change. You can, but, whenever somebody tells you that, hey, change this, you're like, no, I can't do this. This is how it should be. Like, people come to me and ask me, why don't you sign these customers? I'll say, because we don't like them. Like, come on. How can you say that as a company? Dude, I have one life. It's my company. I want to choose money which has color. Money has color. People who say money doesn't have color are colorblind. Money always has color. It comes with strings attached. All kinds of money that happen to you in your life, both sides, the one you get, the one you pay, has color and brings that flavor of color in your life. For example, when you choose to pay a cheaper price to a professional to do something for you, it brings in leaky roofs and taps in your life. That's trouble. But you paid cheap, no? So you get monkeys. That's how it works, right? When you charge X money from someone, it comes with strings attached. Those can be, that is going to be the quality of money will impact your life. That's why most of the Indians want to work for American companies.
Okay.
Because a lot of people think that it's just the multiple dollar value. No. It's also the fact that that's an American company. You're coming at 1/10 the cost. They've hired 20 people in your place. Your weekends will be easier. You will genuinely get a Christmas, week off, right? But then At times you get stuck under Indian overlords, then you're double screwed. Now the American work plus Indian style, both are happening, right? There's a choice. So you make that choice, and if you're able to make that choice, life actually unfolds exactly that way. Anybody who cries about these things is just be feeling too entitled. I find the entitlement palpable, and it is not my criticism of people. I'm just saying that they are suffering.
Yeah.
I am not suffering with that.
Yeah.
They themselves are suffering, but I feel bad for that suffering because that suffering is totally avoidable. You work hard, be of value. If it doesn't work out, move. Don't get stuck in brands. Don't get stuck in lack of brands. If there is a brand that aligns with your value system as well as your life and you love the grind, go at it. There's no right and wrong, about this. Choose for your own self. Most of the ambition is extremely induced around you. People are giving you the idea there is a work-life balance problem. And Gayathri, you will experience it. While your entrepreneurial journey is off to a great start, you're working hard, you're doing great stuff. You will eventually realize, and sooner you do it, it'll be easier for you. Surround yourself with entrepreneurs as your friends, because that is what is going to happen whether you like it or not. You will stop relating to people who are not entrepreneurs or who are not doing something of their own. You will stop relating to those people on a normal day.
Okay.
And that will happen not because those are lower than you or you are higher. That will happen because you will start realizing that when you will sit with your friends who may not be doing something of their own or long enough, the problems they will talk about they're dealing with will sound really trivial to you.
Yeah.
You'll stop relating to the problem statements.
Yes.
You'll stop relating to the ambition.
Yes.
Right? And for example, for me in college, I experienced it very early on.
Yeah.
I was in second year and I started my software company. And I was silent about it. This is 2005. These are not the cool startup days. This is way back when startup was cool. So in fact, I was hush-hush about it. I did not tell anyone. But of course, people knew that I'm not coming to college. I'm mostly, missing. And I remember one day, there was a crisis. I was about to lose a 60 lakh rupees client in 2005.
Shit.
It was an American, actually not even American, Norwegian university. And I had to fly. And my development center was in Coimbatore.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know Tamil. That was my first time in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
So that's a story for some other time. But I took an urgent flight from Delhi on Wednesday. Entire Wednesday night, overnight, I was sitting with the team here. Thursday. Friday morning, I landed back in Delhi and from airport straight went to college. And I was still groggy, half out, still trying to wonder what last 48 hours were like. And I enter my canteen, and there's a lot of hustle bustle, and every table there are people filling something. Something is going on, and I was like, oh wow, this is nuts. What new hell is this? So I asked one of them. I said, what's happening? And they're like, you don't disturb me. They're like, okay, but can you please exactly tell me what are all of you doing? And looks important, and I don't even know what's this. And the guy said, yeah, you're gone, man. You are not in the college anyway. And this is final year project report submission. You know how much this is worth? This is worth 5 marks. And I kept on looking at him. And I did not feel, I was like, wow. I just lost 60 lakhs 48 hours back. And this guy was trying to score a job for 3.25 lakh per year, which was dream package. So in that moment, it struck me that, oh, now I understand why am I not able to relate with these people. I used to be genuinely guilty about it, by the way, and I need to confess this. There was a time when I was transitioning, and and my ambitions were very different. I was thinking very different. I was getting exposed to very different world, and I realized in those 6-8 months, I was consistently my relationship. I mean, not relationship. My I couldn't sit. I was stopped enjoying. Sitting with my college friends, because the things that they were talking about, were not really the
Relatable?
things. Yeah, they were not. They were becoming less relatable.
Got it.
Quite. And I was under some sort of mental guilt as well. That there were times when I used to think that I will stop hanging out with them. But then I used to be like, no, am I getting high-headed? Am I getting arrogant? No, this is not how it is. I will continue these relationships. I will keep sitting with them. So this was going on in my head. And in that moment when he said, you know what, it is 5 marks, and started writing again. In that moment, I realized, oh wow, his definition of crisis and my definition of crisis is orbits apart.
Correct.
Like we are in different galaxies. Now I understand why am I not able to relate. Because their challenge and my challenges have just grown out from each other. Things that look like life and death to him don't even bother me. And things that look like life and death to me, this guy cannot even understand. Right now.
Right.
And that's why I became, like, again, knowledge, wisdom liberates you.
Yes.
I got liberated that day. I did not decide. After that, it was liberation. After that, I did not have to think about when to sit with them, when to get up. I used to sit with them till the time I'm enjoying. Whenever I'm not adding value and not enjoying, I'll be out.
So there was no guilt after that.
There was no guilt, and I also started doing better with them. Because now I'm not going to meet you 30 times a month.
Right.
But now I'm going to meet you 3 times a month, and we're going to have a blast.
Got it.
Because now it's acceptance, right?
Right.
There are friends even today who intellectually I may not want to meet more than 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Right? I love them. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Right? But how much stupid banter can I do?
Yeah.
Right?
Ashish, I love the fact that you said this, right? What Ashish as a human needs is to be around highly driven people. And I love that because I resonate so much with that. So you've been around a lot of highly driven people, ambitious people, high achievers. What is that one common mindset that you've seen across all of them?
Everybody's excited about perspectives, ideas. Everybody is extremely curious. Like, you can tell them they're wrong. And before they fight with you about that they're right, they will question you on how are they wrong with a curious mind.
Not from a defense.
And all the people in this world, and I'm giving you this test, whenever you want to find somebody who is really driven in life versus who is not, you take this test. You tell somebody that they're wrong, you check the reflex. If the reflex is a defense and to beat you down in that moment, wrong people. Most driven, smart, ambitious, curious people will actually try to understand that. Why did you say I'm wrong? Can you explain more? How is that wrong? They'll approach it from curiosity, believing that, okay, if you have an insight, let me see what it is. And it doesn't mean that they will accept it. Nobody needs to accept that. But this needs to be questioned. This needs to be talked about. So what I feel is that driven people are they are really interested in ideas. They're interested in perspectives. Right? See, driven people come from all walks of life, right? You can be creative. You can just be you can be the most boring professional in the world. You can be a chartered accountant. To all due respect to all accountants, it's a boring job. And I'm as a founder, I get my fair share of finance, to deal with. But I know some of the most driven finance professionals. I can speak with them for hours because we are talking about perspectives, perception, how somebody has grown, how their thinking has changed, how they analyze a certain situation, how they analyze a certain person, why they do what they do. Because if you really need to be good at what you do, if you're obsessed about it, if you're ambitious in any aspect of life, you would want to know everything. You would want to know people, you would want to know cultures, you would want to know how they think, how you think, how I think, before you can put it to use.
Yes.
You just need to know everything.
Yes.
There is no other way, right?
Yes.
For me, curiosity with humility is an extremely big marker of how good you are. All of us have heard magic is outside your comfort zone.
Correct.
Whenever we talk about this, you get the image of a mountaineer,
Yeah.
something which is physically very, very hard, right?
Yeah.
That's not true. I'll tell you, if you want to experience magic outside comfort zone, and if you want to build the muscle of being out of your comfort zone, if I ask you, by the way, if you have to practice being out of your comfort zone, what is it that you can do on a daily basis?
One thing I've been doing in the last few days is taking a cold shower in the morning.
Very cool. Very, very cool. How does it make you feel?
Because while I'm taking that cold shower, it's utmost discomfort and utmost adversity, and I want to run away from it. But I still choose to stay in it. Like memorizing the emotion of no matter how difficult it gets, I'm not going to give up.
Very, very cool. Very cool. I will build upon this.
Yes.
I grew up, I told you, in a religious family, Marwadi family, pure vegetarian. I was a pure vegetarian till 12 years back.
Okay.
Till the age of 10 years back, in fact. Till the age of 27, 28, I was a pure vegetarian. No egg, nothing. Today, I eat anything that moves, doesn't move, couldn't move.
Okay.
So I've had, at the risk of grossing out people, from, chicken, mutton, beef to, to kangaroo, crocodile, rabbit, camel, grasshopper.
Oh God.
Ox tongue, ox tail.
Oh, no.
How did that happen? I one day decided that, who chose that I'm going to be vegetarian? Family. I didn't choose it. So, and I don't have a religious moral issue. So then I was like, well, I need to try this. And I need to try this for my own sake. And I will reject after trying. So I tried chicken.
Okay.
Hated it.
Okay.
Hated is an understatement. Bad.
Okay.
But then I realized that, I don't have the palate for it.
Correct.
It is an acquired taste for me.
Yes.
And I cannot just at the age of 27, 28 suddenly start liking chicken because everybody is liking chicken. And when people, this is how simplistic people are. Very well-meaning, smart people made me take a bite of a chicken. And when I said, whoa, that's bad. And they were like, how can you not like chicken?
Yeah.
I'm like,
dude, I just don't like it.
Yeah, because I don't have the buds to process it.
Yes.
So I said, okay, I am going to eat it till I acquire the taste. And I will keep trying. And Gayathri, food habits. Food is something where if you want to conquer you being okay with discomfort, food is the shortest, the most difficult path. It gives you an opportunity 3 times a day.
Wow. Over the years, how has your relationship with money changed? Or has it changed?
100%. It has evolved.
Okay.
I don't have a drastic change, like milestone of drastic change, but it has evolved. I think my material feel of money has actually lessened to scary levels. And let me explain that. Like, for example, the 20-year-old me or 23-year-old me used to spend money very differently, in the sense that it will be more material spend and I'll feel very happy about it. So I am not talking about your material doesn't give you happiness. I should also acknowledge the fact that I think I came from moderate privilege.
Okay.
So it simply means that, of course, we were not rolling in cash and money, but there was nothing that I remember from childhood I didn't have.
Okay.
Right? So there was no unresolved money problems, but at the same time, very responsible upbringing. So I also, knew that this is hard earned. Right? So we somehow always knew.
Ashish, my last question to you is, my team wrote this question and I was like very curious as to what your answer is going to be. I'm just going to read out the question. So Anusha from my team wrote this question. She says, Ashish, I have 1.4 million followers on Instagram. If I had just zero reach and no audience, would you still be doing this podcast with me?
Oh, 100%.
Why?
That discovery call is all that it needs. I think I am here not because you have 1.4 million followers, and honestly I don't care, and I say this respectfully and not respectfully, because I really don't care, because they are your followers and I don't even know why they follow you. Right? So they follow you for what you do, right? How does it matter to my life? I think that conversation with you is the reason this is happening. If that conversation didn't happen, this won't happen. And I think the biggest indicator is you asked me to do this many months back.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that conversation didn't happen.
Yes.
And so this interview didn't happen. I don't really care. And honestly, Anusha, great question, but I don't really care about my followers. I mean, in terms of numbers.
I know.
At all.
Yeah.
And that is also because I am not in the business of followers.
Yeah.
I'm not in the business of likes, share and subscribe. I appreciate people who do that. And a lot of my friends are, in this business. They're YouTubers, they're podcasters. And but I'm very happy with what I'm doing. I worry about, numbers there. These are not my numbers. So I think for me, what you stand for, what you're doing, your story, then I watched your videos. What is it that where is it coming from? I think for me, the most striking, part was, and Gayathri, that's the number one reason I'm here, is I saw the intentional process of how you have taken your growth in your own hands. I felt how intentional are you about learning. I think I haven't met a lot of people, who actually intentionally take the initiative, design a life that they would want to, do. So I think for me, that was a takeaway from that conversation, that you're not doing this as an opportunity. Opportunity is happening because you are doing this. You have learned it. You have gone through it. You're still learning because that made you, and that is going to do, this further for you. I think it was not even optional.
Right, this means a lot to me, what you just said. It genuinely means a lot to me. So one final question before we wind up. Every single entrepreneur who's watching, or every single person who wants to embark on this journey, what's your message for them?
Entrepreneurship is an ultimate journey of ownership. It is entrepreneurship as a category of being is going to throw you in an arena where you will automatically, you will be at the center of every problem and every opportunity. Today in your life, you can pawn off some responsibility to your parents, to your spouse, to your neighborhood, to your dog, to your boss, to your colleague, to your friends, to your teacher, to your professor. As soon as you turn an entrepreneur, literally, every responsibility is yours. All the problem is you. All the solution is you. All the credit for when it goes well is distributed amongst a lot of people. Whenever it goes down, it is completely yours. This journey is beautiful if you can accept it and sign up for it. This journey is excruciatingly painful and will eject you out with a lot of bruises and scars if you don't accept it, and if you continue a life where you are a victim, where something else in the world can impact your life and you can just cry about it. You cannot. No demonetization, no COVID, no GST, no World War, nothing you can cry about. Your job only is to accept what is happening outside, manage it, or better, create an opportunity out of it and do something bigger because that thing happened. It looks like when we start that entrepreneurship is about this great idea, this great product, this great service. It is. But as soon as you start, you'll realize that 99% of it is just about managing your emotions, managing your stress, managing your thoughts, just being in control of your own self. And 1% is the rest of it, which is product, service, passion, etc., etc. Entrepreneurship is a great, journey of self-discovery. And that is why all the byproduct, which is money, fame, glamour that you see, trust me, the best entrepreneurs in the world, people call them humble. They're not humble. They look humble because life humbled them, because this process humbles you. Because by the time they got to the byproduct of it, the grind was so hard that name, fame, money, glamour, etc., they stopped not mattering, but they stopped overpowering them. Like they're not drowned in it. They love it. I like good parts of my life. Absolutely love it. But I'm not drowned in it because I have gone through so much grind and I'm still going through so much grind that, that part is not the highest high that I get in a day. Whenever you see an entrepreneur, who is basking in the glory of their fame too much, they're too much in the media, trust me, they're going down, or either they're still evolving, Vijay Mallya. But you don't see Birlas like that. I'm not saying that, being in the media and being popular is a bad thing. I'm just saying the evolution of being an entrepreneur is way more inside you than it is outside in the world. Most of the people, their popularity and their success show when it just can't be held back, when it becomes so big that it just can't be contained. But deep inside, it's a beautiful journey. Jump in it responsibly, and whether you fail or whether you succeed, continue to be responsible, come out of it, go back again. There's nothing wrong with it. Just don't go in for the good parts, or at least what you perceive are good parts.
Wow. Crazy. I've always had a very selfish motive to starting my own podcast, simply because conversations like these shift something inside of me that nothing else can. Thank you for that call and this conversation. I will remember this for a very, very, very long time. And you definitely have an influence on how I think. And thank you so much for doing this, Ashish.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting. Thank you for doing this. And thank you for saying what you're saying. I just feel more grateful and extremely responsible whenever somebody tells me that anything that I said has an impact on them. Something inside me, tells me to be 100x more responsible about whatever I say in life, and I'm continuously in that journey of self-awareness while still reflecting on my own experiences.
Thank you so much. Means a lot.
Thank you, Gayathri.